Good evening and welcome back to OpenLine. This is a special segment we do the fourth Thursday called Ask a Lawyer. Tonight's guest is Kevin Kennedy, and we're taking your phone calls. We have some lines available, 737-plus, 737-7587, and I believe that Philip, you've been holding for quite a while. Let's get to Philip's call.
All right, let's take you, Philip. Go right ahead, Philip.
All right, wrongful termination, you tell me.
Okay.
This is going to take just a second, but please bear with me. I will explain it as quickly as possible. I was a maintenance supervisor for a 290-unit apartment complex in Nashville, Tennessee. Won't mention any names. For well over a year. Had 3 guys under me, all of which loved me and want me back. The problem was that the property manager left nothing but the oh shoot, I can't think of what you call her right at this moment, leasing agent, for several months. They finally hired a general manager who was there just a couple days a week, finally hired an assistant manager, and I had complained that these 2 women in the office refused to do their job and made it difficult on maintenance. I was not given access to the corporate office in New York City. Nothing ever happened. We finally had a meeting, and there was a bit of a blow-up on my behalf. I was let go. I was fired. I've suffered hugely a financial loss. I'm working now, but major loss in pay. Within 2 months, the company in New York finally figured out, you know what? Philip wasn't lying. Philip wasn't wrong. These 2 women are absolutely ripping the company off. They're absolutely terrible employees, and both of them have been fired. Now, my 3 guys that worked under me want me back. They would run through a brick wall for me. The current property manager wants me back because he knows what I did for that property. But the corporate office isn't budging.
Well, I'll tell you, in the state of Tennessee, what happens, we have employment at will. What really means I can work for the TV station or they can let me go. Is it a wrongful termination? You would have some avenues to explore. It ultimately, we have respondeat superior is a theory under the law that the people that are owners of that company are ultimately responsible for those agents, the employees. These 2 ladies that you have said, so they have clothed them with the authority to run this place, and if they mistreated you, wrongfully discharged you, they could take on liability and the company can take on liability. Also, if these ladies made disparaging remarks about you, slandered you, they not only take on liability for the company, but they individually take on liability. So we have people all the time say, golly, they treated me wrong, I lost. Well, what choice do you have? You're going to lose your home, you can't pay your car payment, your children have to fall out of college because you're counting on that money. Then those 2 ladies, you could get a lawyer and sue them for slander because they had to say some things otherwise. Another lesson to learn, if you're in Tennessee, it's an employment at will. Always keep that in mind. And if you knew you're having these issues, go see a lawyer before you have a blow-up. Go see a lawyer before you have a meeting. Discuss what you should do and what you shouldn't do. I like to tell people to document.
It's a great question. You see a lot of these questions on a regular basis. You know,
yes.
Do you have a cause of action because you were let go? And, you know, it's important to point out that Tennessee's a right to fire, right to hire state,
yes.
right to work state, you know. See here.
And remember, I always like to say this, what is fair and what is just? If you're being mistreated and you're being treated unfairly, there's a cause of action.
Great question. Okay, on line 3, we have Sheila. Are you with us, Sheila? Sheila, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, Sheila,
yes, ma'am. You need to turn down your TV a little bit there, Sheila, so we can hear you.
Yes, I'm with you.
All right. Can you turn? Okay, what's your question?
I've got a question. I just heard you talk to the guy about the Will. I have an issue with a job I worked for 2 years. I put the EOC on them, and they terminated me that I violated the company policy, but I had got assaulted twice. And they did nothing about it. I got a knife through him. I got hit. And then I was complaining to them about things that was going on, a mistreatment. And I was the only woman. And my boss was a foreigner. And also, he was up under somebody for 4 months and didn't have a complaint with me. But then all of a sudden, he put me on an action plan. He did everything he could do to make my life miserable with this job. But I loved my job, so I kept working. So when I put the EOC on them, they found this policy I gave for food away, which I did not. And then I said, well, what about the lady that hit me? And then they put it back in the store with me, and which made it hostile. I cried and everything. They still made me work with this lady, and this lady assaulted me. I did not know until like a month later that I could have went downtown and took out a warrant. I didn't know my rights because I was scared. I was 51 years old.
Right.
I didn't know what to do. And then the guy threw the knife at me, and they didn't fire him. So I was like, I'm getting abused. I'm getting mistreated. The guys, and I work for a sex offender, because, you know, they have family friendly up there. So he was like harassing people, bullying me. I told him and everything. I mean, it made my life hell at that job. And I still came to work the next day, and I got sick and had pneumonia. They made me go to the doctor, and everybody else, they got away with murder. And just because I complained, they put me on the 6-day action plan. Then eventually they fired me when I went to the EOC. I'm now waiting for the EOC to work my case, because I'm just trying to figure out what kind of lawyer can I get for this harassment. I just got done wrong. I mean, I just got abused all the way around. They have a zero tolerance on violence. I got abused twice and nobody did anything.
Well, you have a right not to have to work in a hostile work environment. If they've got individuals there that are making it totally unbearable for you to work, then there's cause of action for the liability. You always have the right to pick up the Tennessee Department of Labor. We've got a commissioner. File an official complaint with them. You also have a right with the National Labor Relations Board. I'll tell you this, if they were mistreating you and abusing you, I would try to document. And you know, there's nothing wrong with a coworker saying and writing out a little statement that they saw this and saw that. Those are the evidences that you could use in a wrongful termination. They make it completely unbearable to work, and we understand that. And that's why this show is so important, because if you're in that zone, get out and go see a lawyer. Don't let it get completely out. Document. Use what you can put together for because the first thing lawyer's going to say is, how can you prove that they did this?
When she talked about this EEOC, what's the EEOC? Kevin?
Well, you can go to the Equal Opportunity Employer, and many times they will give you a right to sue. They'll do their investigation, and if they say, well, golly, we think this is unfounded, and you remember so much of management, they go through this every day, so they already know the policies and procedures, how we're going to respond to your complaints, and they'll run around and get other coworkers to say, this is not true. They'll file it with the government, and they'll squash it there. However, if you get the right to sue, it looks to me like you got a home run. Find one of the lawyers and sue the company. And those individuals, remember this, we stop a lot of nonsense when we sue the person individually, and if they put their hands on you, that's an offense. You can charge them criminally, you can sue them, all kinds of things.
Great question. Okay, here on line 4 is Bob. Are you with us, Bob?
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask, I think it's a great show, I was going to ask about, the legislature's going through, like, this stuff on elder abuse.
Yes.
And, well, it's just, I'll be 60 this year. I'm living in HUD housing and stuff like that. I get kind of sort of approached every day. I have had to turn in one of the neighbors because beating the kids outside, what people do inside the service. Also, the bus driver that's taking the kids home, they were getting off the bus. Kids were yelling and screaming, hitting and pulling hair, and but that happened so quick. I feel sorry for the bus driver.
Yes.
And I just wonder what besides turning it in to do, because I think it's a law. You have to call the police or something.
Yes.
Talk to the manager. I've done that, and it's just still ongoing about the bullying and the abuse.
Well, bullying and abuse, that is a general theory in the law. and it rubs us all wrong. And if I saw that, I would immediately try to tell you, let's go together and stop it right there. If we can, we would call the police. You can pull out your little video on your phone and document it all. And so if it's with dealing with children, Department of Children's Services can run their investigation. If it's a school bus driver, you can take that. They will take whatever actions necessary. And the bus drivers are trying to do the best they can the vast majority of the time. And so the question is, sometimes they get scared to report it because they're scared they're going to lose their job and say that, well, I can't handle that. So I'm glad that you brought this to everyone's attention. And we need to stand up when you see someone that's not doing right. Somebody needs to take a stand against it. Strong people stand up for themselves. Stronger people stand up for others.
That's a great quote. You're exactly right. Now, as far as, are there some folks that are mandatory reporters, some people that have to say something?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you see child abuse or sexual abuse on children, everyone has got to report it. And so, you know, even lawyers, we have this confidentiality in discussion, but if we know that a crime is going to happen, we know that children are going to be abused, then we've got to take steps to try to protect. You know why? Because that's against public policy to see anyone abused. And children specifically, yes, we're under a duty to do it.
All right. On line one, I believe we have Connie. Are you with us, Connie?
This is Connie.
Okay,
Yes,
what's
Connie?
your question?
Yes, I watch y'all show every Thursday.
Thank you,
I got
Connie.
a question for Mr. Kennedy. It's because I had a sister that died, and she called the Social Security office. Okay, I understand. My question is, does the state of Tennessee pay $255 to help on the burial?
Right now, you know, one of the lawyers were talking with me earlier. They changed the law. So you can be a really smart lawyer today, and they change the law tomorrow.
Right.
And so really smart lawyers don't know all the answers. They just know how to research and find out what there are funds available in certain programs, and it's whether it's through a state program or a federal program. So you're all the time trying to learn what funds are available to assist indigent individuals in there. So I'm not sure specifically if that would be $255 or not, but I do know that there are funds out there available for those circumstances. So keep your ears open. You can always call Department of Children's Services. They're paid by the government. They have people to try to assist you. And you can always call Legal Services of Middle Tennessee, and that's a nonprofit organization to help individuals that would need help that don't have resources to hire lawyers.
All right, thanks for your question, Connie. If you're holding on the lines, we'll get right back to you as soon as we come back from the break. And we have some phone lines available at 737-plus, 737-7587. You can call, ask a question of Kevin Kennedy. We'll be right back after this break.